If you work with resin or epoxy, you will know how important it is to have a silicone mat. But now we can just lift this off. Not just to protect your surfaces, really nice skeleton leaf pattern, but to also push the limits of resin art. Right, we are back. I love this one. I hope you're going to love this one too, because the results are absolutely amazing. So sometimes as a creator, I don't care who you are, how big you are, we get a little bit brain numb and we sit here twiddling our thumbs thinking what we could try and make. And sometimes I do a lot off camera just to keep my mind occupied. And sometimes I just start rooting through my drawers or boxes of supplies that I've got, and I look at things in different ways. And I remembered that I had these skeleton leaves when I did a laser video quite some time ago now. And I looked at it in a different way. And we've touched upon this a couple of times on the channel of how important, not just for protecting your surfaces, but how we can utilize these silicone mats. Now, preferably you are going to want a white one for this. Different colors may not work because we're going to be using the UV light, which needs to be able to penetrate through better. If I was to do this on my black soldering mat, it wouldn't work because the light can't cure the resin. So we can use this as a way to transfer. You've seen me do this a few times on the channel, but there's some things that you can only do by doing this technique and this method, and this is one of them. And again, it is extremely important to keep this spotless for just this reason. So I recently did a video. This isn't what I'm going to be showing you, but it kind of gave me the idea as well. And I basically used some dried pressed leaves and transferred. I just pushed it into the lid of my gold pot and then just transferred that onto my silicone mat and then transferred it onto the cabochon. But then I looked at this in a different way, because obviously you can't do it that way with this. But then I thought, what if we were to brush the colors on and then peel the leaf away? And this really does work absolutely incredibly. So I am I am going to be using these neon colors. You can go with whatever you want. That is your choice. And all I need to do is make sure that the stalk of this is facing upwards. So I need it that way. So it's going to lay flatter on my surface. And you're also going to want one of these. Now, I didn't know that these were called Morgulls. What a very strange name. I've only ever known them as applicators. Is that what they're called, or is that a brand name? I don't know. Morgul sounds like something out of like Harry Potter or something like that. Again, go with whatever colours you want for this. I'm going to start with a neon pink. Now, it doesn't matter if the leaf's not 100% stuck to the silicone. It really doesn't matter. What does matter is that the powder you're applying is not too loose. With this neon powder, it's really fine and it's quite sticky, if that makes sense. It's not like a loose powder that's going to fall off when I start to apply it. I'm going to have areas where it's slightly clumped, but it really doesn't matter. And you can see the leaf is moving up and down. It really doesn't matter, as long as we're getting most of the color through the gaps in the skeleton leaf. And I can even pull that leaf up and just see the print so far. And all I'm going to do is blend down. I'm not very good with blending down different colors. I was going to go with rainbow colors, but I'm just going to go with a different blend. So from pink, this one is a slightly darker pink. I'm just going to go over the last patch of pink and bring that down. And then I'm going to move into a purple. It really is that easy. And we're not going to be utilizing all of this. So it doesn't have to be too tidy. We're only really going to be using a certain area of it. Saying that, like the pink up here might not even be used. And then onto purple. So I'm going to blend down the colors and you'll see it afterwards. Right, so we've gone pink, darker pink, purple, blue, green, then yellow. Now we can just lift this off. And we're left with this really nice skeleton leaf pattern. And what you can do with that is just store it, flick it off outside, store it away, and use it again for the same color combo. Now all we need to do is make our cabochon. Again, shape is entirely up to you, but just make sure it fits in that area that we've created. So we're just using the Resin Rockers clear hard type, and I'm going to go with an oval. Yeah, I'm going to go with the oval. I almost changed my mind to a heart then. As always, massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks, very much appreciated, and to any new subs. It's flying up, thank you very much. And again, I've mentioned this before, the resin needs to be level with the top of the mold. No dipping down, you know, it has to be flat. Then I'm just going to give that a minute cure on both sides at 36 watt. And yes, I'm fully aware my lamp comes with a mirrored base, and I keep forgetting. I don't know why I keep forgetting either. It's like muscle memory. I'm so used to just picking a lamp up and putting it over my mold and pushing a button. Like, it's just like muscle memory. I just keep forgetting I've got that mirrored base. Right, so now comes the transfer. Again, this is why it's important. I've said it before, but for anyone new, if that wasn't flat, it's going to trap air when we place that onto here. We don't want that. So I'm going to apply some UV resin to the powder. Because it's an oval shape, I'm going to bring it slightly up and down. Again, I'm not going to capture all of this color, but we don't want too much that it's going to cause more work afterwards. And then just lay that on top. The resin is going to push outwards all the way around. Any air is going to be pushed out. Now once it's centered, like so, and I'm just going to cure that in place for a couple of minutes. Now comes the peel. Now you can be left with some color still on the silicone mat under the cabochon. Luckily there's only a tiny bit. Blue I tend to struggle with these powders. It's the opaqueness. But any excess I can kind of just trim that off. I use a nail cuticle or scissors. I don't actually use a nail cuticle, I mean a cuticle tool. So what we are left with is this. Now this comes the part that I've got a tiny little bubble in there. Whoops. Never mind. I'll show you the other one afterwards as well. Now, what I did now is next is just dusted it with some gold. Grab the other end of my Morgul and just dust that whole back. Now, I'm going to back this one with a white. The other one I did with a black, but I did wonder about the white. You know what I'm like with my black backings. But I want to do this one and then see what they both look like side by side. The black versus the white. But I will show you this just as the gold to show you the difference that it's made. See that gold showing through, that colour? Really, really nicely. And that adds such a nice touch, I think. So for the white, I've just got a tiny amount of UV resin in there, and I'm just using some of my homemade white pigment paste. You could go over mica powder if you want. Back it however you wish. Just play around, like if you used to do the leaf kind of stencil, if you want to call it that, and then do lots of coloured blobs on it, clear blobs on it, and then cure them and peel them off and just play around with different coloured backings. Just see which one you prefer. And then once that's mixed, I'm just going to thinly apply that over the back. I use my cabochon mould. It's really handy to level out the piece to then back. And it's also handy for tilting my cupping, so I can pour it if I want, but I prefer doing it this way. So I know I'm not going too over the top. And just give that an even coat over the whole back. Now I can give that a minute or two under the lamp. If you can't see your colour through your white, you've added too much. Same as if you do a black backing. You need to have it semi-opaque. Or semi-translucent, whatever one you want to say. Okay, we're all done. As always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment if you haven't subbed. Again, hit that button for me, it's free. If you're watching on YouTube TV, grab your phone, your tablet, search my name, hit subscribe that way, and hit that notification bell so you are notified when I upload next. You may be wondering what this is on the back. This was just, again, a play around, and what I like to use sometimes is my little mini pyramid mold when it comes to if I've sanded the piece down and given it a glaze coat, and I kind of went a little bit over the top, but it's the back, it doesn't really matter. So I'll show you the black background first. It really is incredible. I mean, it looks like there's a tree. You've got the branches coming off at either side. The detailing and the colour is insane. It really is something I think is incredible. The way the gold works with the neons is just insane. Such a nice piece. Right, and the white one. Very, very different. For me, personally, you're probably already gonna expect what I'm going to say. This one is my favorite, but I thought I'd show you with a white background. Very, very different, but that one is just, I did everything exactly the same. All I did differently was added a black background instead of the white. It's got a much more autumn vibe to that one than this one. But it's definitely something to play around with, different combos, make different shapes, different sizes, earrings, whatnot, however you like. But there you go. That is how important these things can be when it comes to resin art. Hope you enjoyed that one. I will see you for the next one. But look at that in a bezel. Love it. Right, see you for the next one. Bye for now.